Most of the ladies you see here are grandmothers from the small town of Quesnel, British Columbia. They call themselves the Gold Pan Grannies. They band together to spend their golden years planting, baking, and crafting things that make our community smile. But there's a larger picture here, a bigger cause that drives their activities and camaraderie.
I came to the meeting, the first meeting, and saw the enthusiasm and heard what was going on in Africa and what we could do about it. It seemed monumentous at the time, but I have grown to learn since 2007 that it's one step at a time.
Over the last 10 years, this group has donated all the proceeds from their plant, bake, and craft sales to help grandmothers in Africa. Like the grandmothers in Quesnel, these ladies from all over Africa are trying to make their communities vibrant, but they're doing that from scratch. What you can't tell from their smiles is the devastation in their lives caused by HIV/AIDS.
There's the elderly and the small children.
After losing an entire generation to the disease, these grandmothers are all that's left to bring up their grandchildren.
Grandmothers who are honored and revered as the head of the family are now truly the working head of the family, because they cannot sit back, relax, and do their crafts or be waited on. They have to look after sick children and somebody else's sick children because there are no adults.
Here in Canada, we have safety nets. I'm not saying they're perfect and I'm not saying they're foolproof, but there are safety nets there. In these countries, these women truly have had nothing. And there is going to be an entire generation of little children who are going to grow up, if they grew up, with nothing.
And that's why the Gold Pan Grannies have stepped in. Through the Stephen Lewis Foundation, they've donated over $35,000 to help these grandmothers over the last 10 years. And it wasn't through big galas or any glitz or glam.
It's a bake sale, or it's a support for somebody else in the community, or a garden plant sale. Whatever we are able to gather from the community, we put toward the Stephen Lewis Foundation.
The Stephen Lewis Foundation takes the proceeds from these activities and distributes it directly to communities in Africa battling HIV/AIDS. Each scenario is different and customized depending on the needs of the community. Their only goal is to empower these women and children with the right tools they need to succeed.
It's helping these ladies know how to get what is due to them. Being able to access and prove that they have these rights to own their property, to stay alone and not have to have a man in their home, that was huge for them. And then they can own their property, they can grow their gardens, they can do this themselves.
The Gold Pan Grannies will be at the big Johnson Sub Garage sale in May and will have their plant sale later that month. They're also on the lookout for more volunteers to help out with their activities that serve Quesnel and in turn also help out the grandmothers in Africa.
They know that there's this huge little army of grandmothers in Canada that care. And that was a huge thing to them at first when they first realized that somebody really far away cared.
For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Anand Shandy.